Hi all. So taking this trade right now.
Order filled.
Okay, order filled. Okay. I think I'm gonna go for I think I might just want to go for one to one just because it kind of feels like it's getting slower. Um I am kind of tempting to go for 1-2 though, but anyway, because it looks like we have two legs up. But basically what I'm thinking here is we have this range, we break out, most breakouts fail. We have this lower high, um, which if you look at it closely, it kind of looks like a failed second entry. So first entry long, second entry long, failure. It's off of the range highs. It's at the perfect place for a reversal. The context is perfect, basically. One problem with it, though, is it closed above the EMA. Um, Now, it has been kind of chopping through the EMA. See how it closes below, close back above, close back below. But that is kind of like it's holding it there. Here's one. I'm just gonna do the thing where I'm gonna see if it once it ticks through the target of 9 ticks, I'm just going to place a stop to see if it just spikes through and maybe I can get a runner uh, to the low of the range. But so yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking for this trade. Clearly two legs back. It does have matching lows, but it's still two legs back no matter how you look at it. So that's what I'm thinking here. Let me make sure the sound works. I'm always worried about it not working. Okay, yep, it's on. So yeah, about this trade, I want to talk about this trade really fast. Um, I took this trade live right here, or not, like I wasn't like live streaming, but I took it and I recorded it and I uploaded it right after I got the trade. So basically, basically it only got, so it filled by one tick. It didn't go to where my stop was, but so it filled me right here by one tick, and then it went almost to where my stop would have been had I not gotten out. My stop would have been it would have been one tick away from where my stop was. And so, it's not like the best feeling whenever your trade barely gets out and then it almost goes to the stop, but it doesn't go to where the stop was and then it does end up going even higher past where the target was. So, it made me feel all right. But also in the video of the recording of this trade, I have this downtrend drawn right here, but at around 1 minute into the video, it just moves. Like it's just a glitch. Like when you draw a trend line and then it just kind of just starts moving. It just kind of gets out of place how you originally draw it. Well, that happened and it happened a lot, and so the trend line looked really screwed up for most of the video. So, but it's supposed to be drawn from this tick, from this wick, off of this green body, and then have these lows down here, and then has a break, new low, off the overnight highs, which it's just these range highs right here. So that's what I was thinking for this trade, and I went for 1-2 on it because one of the reasons I went for 1-2 on it was because there wasn't really reason not to, because as y'all know, I've been doing a lot of 1-2 trades lately, and so many of my trades where I would only go for 1-1 and get 1-2. So lately I've just been a lot more aggressive with it, going for 1-2. But yeah, I mean, it was at a good area for a trade. I was off the key entry point, the overnight high. The downtrend played out with a break, new low. You know, I thought it was a really good looking trade. But But yeah, we did barely get out right there, and then luckily it didn't go down to where the stop would have been. So that's just something to think about. But then I got this after. I didn't record it, but I didn't record this either. Um, the loss, but you know, I mean, here's the deal with recording. It's like I'll usually what I like to do is what I'm doing right now. I'm taking a trade at 1:13 Central Standard Time, and so I I'll take the trade, and then after the live trade, I'll just get into the regular video where I go through the chart and everything. But usually I don't like to take live trades, or I don't like to record trades in the middle of the day. But I did that today, and so I didn't do any commentary on it because I just wanted to focus, and we might get out now. Um, so here we go. As soon as it ticks through, I'm gonna place the stop to see if it spikes through, or in case it spikes through. Not okay. Yep. Anyway, so 9 ticks. It kind of feels like a small target. I've been going 1 to 2 so much lately. Um, Either way, so I made up for most of this loss. This loss was 11 ticks, and so I just made 9 ticks back. But either way, it doesn't matter. From I have these two 1 to 2 trades here, so 10 points, and then minus 2 and 3/4, and then plus 2.25. So pretty good. But I guess I'll just go through the day now. I have some things marked, some areas that I want to talk about. Um, so anyway, so we have the overnight low right here. I drew it at first. I ended up deleting it because it just never comes into play. And if you have drawings down there, it'll auto scale into the drawings. So I just wanted to get rid of them. But basically, we have this huge, very huge push up, and then we go into this range, and then I started trading around this area right here. And I saw this. I didn't take it. I was kind of tempting to take it, but there's a few reasons I didn't take it. Um, Let me just get this to a good size because the auto scale, because of all this price action down here, and then it gets thin up here, it makes it hard to get all of it into frame. All right. So we have this range here. We have this downtrend, break, new low. I can clearly draw these highs and these lows right here. And I knew that this was off of these lows, but I was kind of thinking, well, it's only one bounce, two bounce. So I don't want to just enter off of a unconfirmed uh, range low, basically. But the downtrend played out. I was also considering it just held 3 times off the EMA. Ticks higher here, ticks higher here, ticks higher here, all off the EMA. And it's also unconfirmed down here, so I'm not going to want to enter into that. Um, but then here we finally rush through the EMA. We almost reach the other side. We have this new downtrend. We have a break and 2 legs down to a new low. So here I was definitely looking for a trade. I was looking to go long, but I don't get anything. So we have a break, downtrend break, 2 legs down. It's at the perfect place for a reversal. I'll draw this short-term downtrend here. We just don't get a very good. If this bar right here was like a perfect signal bar, and it ticks lower than the previous bar, and then closes up really high, I honestly think it could have been pretty good. Um, but you know, considering we didn't reach the high here, and then we have all these lower highs, it's probably best to wait for something above the EMA anyway. And I didn't like this because here we very clearly reject off the EMA and then get a higher low below the EMA. This is just not one of those times that you'd want to be entering below the EMA or into the EMA. So anyway, we we go higher. At first I'm trying to draw it like this and have it thinner and everything, but eventually I just draw this trend. We have this uptrend. It has a break. We go back to the lows of the channel. Then this trade here, I didn't take it. I wish I had taken it for 1 to 1. Um, I was kind of hunting for 1 to 2, but basically, if you look at it like this, it just looks like downtrend break, new low, with a good signal bar off the key entry point, which is the range lows. So we had one breakout, then we had a second breakout, but it's also holding once this bullish bar forms. But clearly it's very congestive. So um, if you draw this range, you would probably want to get out before the other side of this range. If I had gone for 1-to-1, it would have had to go outside of the range, which I'll draw that. I'll just draw the risk to reward. So, and if you would enter with a stop order, it would have had to go up to there. Um, I just wasn't really wanting to take it. I kind of wish I had just tried to enter a couple ticks back and then go for 1-to-1 without it having to go very far outside of this range, because it's at a very good context area. The downtrend plays out, two legs down, at these lows. It just looks so good. But there's a couple things about it that aren't very good, which is this congestion and then the fact that you don't have room. So, it's not that horrible of a trade, but there's a couple things wrong with it. But we push up and then we have a triple high here, triple top. We don't reach the highs. Clearly, some that's information telling you that you're about to turn down if you can't reach the highs and you have a triple top. So we push lower. We have a breakout, pullback. There's no setup here. It's just congestive. You have a tiny little break, and then you plummet down a little bit. And then here, when I took this trade, I had this channel drawn differently. I had it drawn like uptrend break new high, but I could kind of see that it was still uptrend and then a break here, expecting new high. I wasn't really taking this trade because of this big uptrend, but I mean I could clearly see it. But this only holds twice, so I don't even believe that this channel here is valid. Um, so I should probably just leave it like this. Uptrend, break, new high, and then we have a couple legs down to my entry down here. So anyway, then where were we exactly? Oh yeah. Here we plummet down. We have a first entry short, second entry short. So here, this is an alright context area. You definitely can't take anything in it though. But basically, we have a first entry short, second entry short, failure. So it's a reversal pattern. Um, so, whoops. So this downtrend here, downtrend break, new low, downtrend played out, and then you get a reversal pattern, which it's very common to get reversal patterns right after a trend plays out. So the downtrend played out, reversal pattern, rushing above the EMA, but it's so choppy and congestive. It's impossible to take anything. You know, I personally believe that I don't think there's anything good in there. And plus, also with with reversal patterns, usually it's like it's like here you have this uptrend, you have a break, so you can expect a new high. That's generally what I like to see. You just simply don't get a setup at all. It's just way too congestive. So um, anyway, so yeah. Then I did extend it to here, obviously. So yeah, then after we get out of this trade, I already went over this, so I guess I'll just go to here. We push lower, we get to the lows of this range, and then after this point, after we make this double bottom, that's when I drew this range. Because when I took this trade right here, I didn't have this range drawn because there was just nothing to really draw the range with. But now we've had a leg up, leg down, double bottom, clear resistance right here, so you can draw a range. And then here is the next trade. Now there's a couple reasons why I like this trade. Um, but so take a look. It doesn't look like a perfect trade because you have this uptrend in play. But there's a couple ways. If you draw it like this, like off that green body, it has a break, new high. It also has an overshoot. And say you draw it a little bit more like that. Say you draw it and you're just sure it doesn't have an overshoot. Then it has a break, new high. And even if you draw it very far out here to where there's no break, and then it's just pretty cleanly off of these highs, it still has a pretty good overshoot. So I was basically thinking, okay, the overshoot, the break, and new high, so no matter how you draw it, there's one of those. So I decided it'd be worth it. So the EMA, I figured it'd probably be okay to short into. I mean, we've been chopping straight through it for a pretty good amount of time at this point, so I'm not exactly scared of the EMA. Um, but, you know, I can see why that'd be a difficult trade to spot, but yeah, also is the same amount of profit and risk as the other trade right before it. So anyways, then we push down, we come over here, I took a loss. So I was going for 1 to 2 on this trade. I'll draw the thing right now. Lost 11 ticks on it. So I was wanting it to go outside of the channel just a little bit. Um, Basically, what my thoughts were was, okay, so we broke out of the range, which yes, we are fading. We just kind of went back into this bigger range right here, which it could be extended at this point. We'll have these lows slightly different. But basically, we go back into the range, the bigger range, but we break out of this smaller range right here, up here. And then, so we can expect it to fade, and then we rush back above the EMA. We have this uptrend, go up, go above, and then we hold with a good signal bar off the lows of the range and also off the highs of the bigger range and off of the EMA. So there's a few reasons I like going long there, but it does get stopped out. Um, it's not exactly a reversal pattern. This right here is the reversal pattern because you have first entry short, second entry short, and then failure. But I do like to see the uptrend have a break, so then you can expect a new high. Uh, so I basically just wasn't taking an exact reversal pattern. It was a failed third entry. So there's that. Plus, um, it was only the first attempt to make a new high, which I'm sure that's not the reason it lost. But so uptrend break, it was the first attempt to a new high. And then if you draw this, you can eventually say, okay, you have this uptrend, you have a break, first attempt higher, and then second attempt higher. Because generally it works on the second attempt, or generally you get bigger moves on the second attempt or the second leg. But but basically you can draw this as a break, and then it has two clear, larger attempts to make a new high. And that's why I marked this area right here because it's the I was really because I kind of figured out what was going on once I lost this. I saw this attempt. I was thinking, okay, we could get a second leg. I couldn't find an entry, but I kind of was really tempting on this bar, even though it's very choppy and it's below the EMA. I was just like I really felt like it was gonna go up then, but I can't take that though. It is a second entry technically, but it doesn't tick lower. There's really no way you can get in on that, but that's basically what I was thinking for that loss. Anyway, we almost reached the highs over here. We push back down. It's just a first entry. It does look like you have a couple legs though. Then finally we push out. We break out of the highs of the range, and then we fade. We go back in. And we get a first entry long, second entry long failure, which it doesn't happen on the highs. You have to look at the lows. So first entry, break, second entry, and then failure. So, and plus it's also just a second entry short. Clear two legs back off the highs, and then yeah, I decided to go for 1 to 1. So, um, you know, it's just it's getting slower. It's a little bit congestive, but you can clearly see the legs, so I'm not scared of taking it. But you know, I just figured I should probably only go for 9 ticks on this. But I guess we'll see how it works out later. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this day. Hope y'all had a good trading day. So yeah. Um, anyway, have a good day, everybody.